Alright, so this video is for a student of mine who I'm trying to help configure this Avid audio interface. It's a Fast Track Duo. I think she got it secondhand. I don't know how to get it going. I had a quick go on her laptop and we found that whilst the drivers were installed, it wasn't popping up in our DAW. We're using Studio One, Presonus Studio One. I haven't worked out how to get it going, but I've just hit the record on the video camera, so that if I manage to get it going quickly, at least I can then share the video and help you all out. Just plugging in a microphone there, just for testing purposes. A little AKG D5, a mic I quite like. It's an alternative to the Shure SM58. I know some big bands do actually use these ones as well. I'm firing up Studio One. I've got the interface already connected to the USB. One step you could take just to start with is in Device Mangler, aka Device Manager. It should pop up as a USB device in there, so probably just a good idea to check. I imagine it's going to come up under Sound Devices. There it is. Oh, hang on, you can't see that screen. Why not? Hang on, let me just fix that one up. I want display capture. Aha, there we go. So, for those of you who didn't see that, which is all of you, Device Manager brings up all the devices on your computer. And if I go down to Sound here, I can see that the Avid Fast Track Duo is installed. Now they'll just be the default drivers from Windows. So one option open to me at this point that I've got in my mind is, well, maybe I jump on Avid's website and see if there's some other newer, better drivers for it. So that's one option, but we'll just see what happens here. Now I'm in Studio One. If I click on Studio One, then Options, on the Mac it would be Preferences and then Options. That being said, if you had a Mac, it would probably just work first go. That's the way it is. I'm in Audio Device. Now I have this software called Voicemeeter Virtual installed already, and I have a whole bunch of other stuff installed. You may or may not, but when I look down here, what I'm not seeing is the Avid Fast Track Duo is not in that list, which leaves me now with two options. One is I can go down the Voicemeeter path, which hopefully can see the interface, and I can set that. If I was to go down that path and I go to Voicemeeter here, which I already have installed, handy bit of software, it's a bit finicky getting used to how to use it, but once you're used to it, it gets easier. You can see here my blue Snowball microphone I'm using to talk to you on. That's a really good mic, by the way, really handy little USB mic. Perhaps not so much for musicians, but if you want to make YouTubes and stuff, and speech. I mean, it will pick up music quite well, but it's a really handy mic, because the mic on this laptop is rubbish. Alright, Voicemeeter will throw advertising at you like that. Under the hardware out, I can have two outputs at once, A1 and A2. At the moment it's set to output to the speakers on my laptop, right, which is what that is. If I click the little drop down menu, there's the speakers on my laptop. I can also see a few different versions of Avid Fast Track Duo. Now, I am not full bottled on what the different versions are and what they do, but I do know this. Either one will work, but for some reason I have more success with the MME ones. Sometimes on the WDM I get robotic, weird sounding stuff, so I tend to go straight for these ones. Why that is beyond my knowledge. I'm sorry. So if I click on that one, now it should be outputting to this. So if I plug this in, I should be able to hear output. I was silly enough not to leave myself some headphones, so I won't worry about that. What I'm really focused on is, can I get input from a microphone so that I can record my music? So if we put that back to speakers, and then we go back over here, hardware input. Now if I change that, now it's going to cut you off so you can't hear me. Alright, but there's another input I could try. There's the Avid. There it is again with the MME version, which I prefer, seems to have more success with. If I click on that, now hey, right, so what I can see is I'm getting a mono channel, which you would expect because this is not stereo. It doesn't have a left and right. It's just one input. So in this case, if it's 1, the default is always left, which is why the left meter is working. So the interface is working on generic Windows drivers, and it's coming through in voice meter. Okay, what next? Well, it's working voice meter here, so let's fire up a new song and see if I can record with it. Yeah. I can probably, I wonder if I can actually switch this. If I bring, aha! This is OBS, which I use to do my YouTube clips. The reason the top half of the screen is all messed up, because it's videoing me and videoing the screen, which is videoing me, which is videoing the screen, which is videoing me, and that's why you end up with this weird thing. But I can still demonstrate this to you. So you can see, if I move myself, you can see this audio input capture 2. That is the blue microphone. Alright, if I want to make another audio capture, or let's just say I use this one here, which is set to default, click the little down arrow, and it's got this microphone. It has it here. So I might start that process again so you can see the full thing. I'm going to remove that. If you happen to use OBS and you want to add in audio inputs, I press plus, audio input capture, add existing, no, create new. Let's call it Avid Fast Track Duo. Boom. What options do I have? There it is. Now this might sound weird. Let's see what happens.
Okay. So all right. So I've just muted the blue one. He's not talking now. I'm talking to you on this microphone, and I imagine you would have heard the difference. You can probably also see that you're probably only getting a left-hand channel. It's not stereo. Can't switch it to stereo either. All right. Anyway, that was OBS. Now you can hear me on this microphone. The microphone is working. The interface is working. I'm using standard Windows drivers. I haven't gone down that path of downloading drivers from Avid yet, and I'm using voice meter to get it into my Studio One. So here's my Studio One screen. I'm starting up a new song just to test it. You can ignore that error for now. That's something else which we won't worry about. I'm going to make a new audio track. I'm going to output to main. I just left everything default so far. Click OK. I have a track. There's nothing coming in yet. So if I arm that for recording, aha. So as soon as you arm it for recording, then your track comes through. And you can see that that's working fine there. If I bring up my mixer, just move that, you can see it's coming up as well. So that is working fine. If I go back to this, no, let's just record. Hello, hello, hello. This microphone appears to be working. So it's working. Right. Now the next thing is to check the sound. What I sometimes find is, ooh. Sorry, I just realized there on my OBS software, it was capturing the audio output. The reason for that is it outputting from Studio One and into this, so you might have just been hearing weird double me then, I just realized. If that's the case, I don't think you need to worry about it unless you're using OBS and trying to use Studio One at the same time. That's a problem for me. So hopefully you can hear me clearly now. You can see it's all working in Studio One. I've recorded a little piece of audio. I'll try and play it back, and we'll see how it sounds. I'll just go back to voice meter. It should be coming out of my speakers, which aren't turned on. Let's turn them on. Ooh, the feedback there. All right, so that's feeding back. I'm going to have to mute this microphone and then play it back. Here we go.
Hello, hello, hello. This microphone appears to be working.
Okay. So you can hear that sounds pretty robotic, which is a problem. But the question is the recording robotic, or is it being made robotic afterwards by Voicemeeter? Now, from prior experience, I have a sneaking suspicion it's actually Voicemeeter that's causing that. So I'm going to play that again, and I'm going to watch what Voicemeeter's doing. Bear with me.
Hello, hello, hello. This microphone. This microphone appears to be working. Hello, hello, hello. This microphone appears to be working. Hello, hello, hello. This microphone appears to be working. Hello, hello, hello. This microphone appears to be working. Hello. This microphone appears to be working. Hello, hello, hello. This microphone appears to.
Okay, so back on this mic. Okay, so I'm having some problems. You can hear that it sounds rubbish and robotic. I'm sure I've got it working. I came across one instance once where I was playing it back and having this main out and a virtual out playing at the same time, but perhaps just slightly off sync due to the processing the computer has to do, made it sound robotic like that. But I don't seem to be able to fix it this time. I'm not quite sure why at the moment. I'm trying to think on the fly as I'm troubleshooting. And do I persist, or do I check out Avid's drivers options and see if there's an option there which would allow me to avoid using Voicemeeter? It is best. If you can avoid using Voicemeeter altogether, that is best. I'm just going to switch you back onto my blue microphone so that I can free up my hands.
Okay, so I talked about drivers before. Drivers are the little bits of software that tell Windows how to work the device. Windows has generic drivers, but you can see that Studio One's not picking them up for whatever reason. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to jump on the Avid website and we're going to see if there's some drivers. If there's not, that's okay, it's just the way it goes, but at least you'll see the sort of process of troubleshooting I'm going through. So Avid interface. Let's go to their website anywhere, doesn't matter. There should be a support option there somewhere. Learn and support. Let's try that. Downloads. Pro Tools, HDX drivers. Pro Tools. Downloads. I'm in downloads. Knowledge base. Downloads. Activate your software. Let's just search Fast Track Duo drivers. Tell me that wasn't the reseller search. Let's try that one, and let's try that one. All right. Fast Track Duo drivers, updated December 22, 2017. It's November 28. That actually looks different to this one. Fast Track Duo. Do I need a particular model number or something? No. Fast Track Duo, no. Max drivers, Windows drivers. Oh, it's pretty old. Windows 10, it's okay. Date. Mac drivers. Let's try it. Let's try the Windows drivers for it says Fast Track Duo. See what happens. So it downloads as a zip file. You've got to go in the zip file, then you've got to fire up the application. Looks pretty small though. Yes, I do want to install it. Next, accept, next, install. While I'm waiting for that, I may as well close this down. I haven't fully determined, I should point out, whether that is actually a robotic sound or not. Another way I could work that out is by, this is the install. I'm trying to do two things at once. Maybe that's a bad idea. Notice, so I've got Device Manager up there in the background. Notice how it's updating this as it installs or replaces the drivers. And it's asking me to reboot my computer, which is annoying because I'm doing a video. I might not restart right now, even though I should. Let's just see what happens here. I doubt it would come up straight away. Correct, yep. So I'm going to close Studio One. Oh, before I close Studio One, I've got this little recording. I'm going to export that recording and see if it is actually clear. Mix down, let's just chuck it on my desktop so I can find it. Desktop. Select folder. Mix down, that's fine, okay. Clipping, that doesn't matter. Do you want to delete the exported file? No, I want to keep it. Now I'm going to close Studio One. I don't want to save that. Yes. Let's go to my desktop and find that recording. Here it is. I might just need to mess around with this to get it to work. Yeah, what have I done? Output is there. Here's the thing with voice meter, you need to send it to the thing that you need to send it to, like that. And that should come up in here. Should do. No, still not working. Oops. Sending an output to voice meter input. Voice meter has crashed. Another thing voice meter likes to do on occasion is crash. Let's just close it.
Hello, hello, hello. This microphone appears to be working. Hello, hello, hello. This microphone appears to be working. Hello,
Okay,
hello.
so what we've determined there is that the input was messed up when I was recording through voice meter for whatever reason. So what I'm going to try, I haven't rebooted my computer, remember, but I'm just going to fire up Studio One again and see if now that we've installed the proper Avid drivers for the device, whether it comes up in Studio One as an option, thus avoiding the need to use voice meter. And it does. Look at that. Bang. If you can go this way, could not be initialized. Maybe I need to reboot. If you can go that way and avoid needing to use voice meter altogether, that is your best option. So I showed you how to get onto the Avid site and download the drivers. Do that, get it up in this list, and don't use voice meter at all. That's just the easiest way to get it going if you possibly can. I have to reboot now, so I have to sign off from the video. If It works. I won't make another video, if that makes sense. But what I've given you is some of the tools and ideas in how to troubleshoot interface problems. So I hope it helps. I will point out actually that I had this exact same issue on a Behringer interface. So best to have the proper drivers.